Well, today is National Leather Crafting Day, so naturally we had to highlight a Lansing leather crafter, and today she's going to show us the ins and outs of this unique material and the amazing things that you can really craft once you get your mind going. That's why we have Lindsay here with us today. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you for having me.
Oh, I'm so excited to have you because look at all these amazing things that you were showing me, and I can't wait to dive into how leather crafting really works. But first, I want to talk about what drew you to leather crafting and just the material in general.
Yes, so this started by going to Renaissance festivals, noticing a trend and wanting to try it for myself. So I went to a local hobby store, got my hands into the craft, and I loved the textile feel of it and really the creativity that is still, I think, yet to be born in this craft. It's a very old craft.
Why don't we actually start with what's right in front of you?
Yes, so this is a perfect example of a modern iteration of leather crafting. Here we have a couple of necklaces which might not seem like leather at first, but they are. Here are some celestial necklaces that are actually hand cut and dyed leather. So this purple in here is leather. It was hand cut and dyed by myself and then hand painted. And then here,
can I stop you for a second?
Oh, absolutely.
Hand cut and hand dyed.
Yes, absolutely.
All by yourself.
All by myself, and then set into this pendant, and then, as is the trend, hand strung onto this necklace. And then I have the representation of all constellations for those people who really like their birth months.
And can I ask how long, and you're also wearing that too as well, I'm seeing it now. How long does it take you to put that together?
A few hours if you do not count drying time.
There's a lot of trial and error that goes into things. So talk about some of those processes that you went through.
Yeah, so there is some trial and error in learning about leather. You are dealing with a product that comes to you with characteristics. So when you're talking about dyeing in particular, you're dealing with a material that might not always want to play nice. You're dealing with colors that might change as time goes on. In a piece of leather itself, maybe the color will take a little differently here, it might take differently there. Leather is not perfect. This is coming from an animal. It is an animal product. So there could be imperfections in the leather. You have to learn how to deal with that. The thickness can be different within a piece. So there's a learning curve.
So with that being said, let's go back into what else that you brought here with us.
So here, these are some really simple keychains. A little bit on the small side, especially women. We keep a lot in our purses.
Yes, we do.
So I want something that was colorful, something that represented us, that you can put on your keys and still throw in your purse and your baby bag, right? Wow. Here we have some bracelets, a couple different sizes from women all the way up to men or some of us plus size women. Southwest style, and also our pride bracelets, our biggest seller. There is not a single piece of machinery used on any of these pieces.
So that's another question I wanted to ask. You don't use a machine. If somebody wanted to pick up this craft, what do they need to get started?
So really all you need is the leather, a couple pieces of hand tools. Setting rivets does take a small tool, about 4 inches long. You can use tools like, if you look in here, these are little dragon scales. That is a tool that just has the scale stamp. You can get those at local hobby stores, and a hammer. You need to be able to set that into that leather. That is it. Maybe some water. You have to wet leather to be able to set it in there. That is the 3 basic things you need to get started. These are all things I use in my life. I kid you not, this right here, I love coffee. This is something that I use myself. This is used with a set of alphabet stamps. This pumpkin is actually a cookie cutter that I pushed into the leather and then I painted. And then this is done with needle and thread. This is a very specific type of thread. This was actually started, these dog collars, based on somebody who was trying to get a dog bar. These euchre cards, these are scorekeepers, and then the trump card, because, you know, if you've ever played euchre, everyone's always like, what's trump card? Now you don't have to ask.
I love that, and we are always excited to see that. So thank you so much for sharing that with us today.
You are very welcome. Thank you.